I'm so tired. Wake
I am,
up.
I am too. This like
Ugh.
coming out of the holiday season, and like I always have that like down week, but it's usually the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic, but I feel like now it's this week.
I don't know. It's almost like we're hungover from trying to make Christmas happy and joyful.
Ooh, I like that. You know what? That's brilliant.
We were on a bender trying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. It was weird. I'm glad it's over.
But the stitching has been very exciting.
Very exciting.
Oh my goodness. Doing my hair, good
Same,
grief.
same.
Oh, it looks awful in this camera. I swear it looked better before it came up. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, welcome everyone. I'm Rachel, Treehouse Fiber Arts on Instagram, and this is my cohort, Sue.
Sue, and I'm Knit24 everywhere.
Thanks for joining us today in our little chit chat, catch up here on our stitching.
I
Oh,
know.
it's been a lot of this podcast makes me, or this floss tube makes me want to stitch.
Me too. It's like the minute you say, "Are we tossing the floss next week?" I go, "Oh, I've got to get back to stitching."
Right.
Because plus it's been through the holiday season, like our shop was so busy, like all the way through Christmas, past Christmas. So it's like yarn everywhere and yarn, yarn, yarn. So it's like I have to bring myself back to my stitching.
You had the great idea of um, redoing your advent calendar that you had done, in the middle of the year. You were re-dyeing each
Oh,
week, right? And
yes.
it sold so
It
well.
sold like crazy. So I did an extra 20, but they were able to see the colorways because for some people, that's a lot of money to
Yeah.
spend on colors that you don't know what they're going to look like, or you say you've never bought Legacy. So you don't know the colorways or how I dye. And so I did them 5 skeins at a time, 20 sets. So I
Hmm.
redid that, and that was it was busy, busy. So, but
Right.
that's usually when I love my stitching the most because it gives me a break from,
Yes.
so yeah, but I have this beautiful rhythm between knitting and stitching. I'm wondering if you have the same.
I do. Well, sometimes it doesn't feel beautiful. It feels like I'm ignoring one and I feel bad.
What
I
it
have
does for
with you.
me though, it's the hand movement. I need the shift in the hand movement.
Absolutely.
And I love the rhythm of both. So I could really don't realize how much I love stitching until I get at it and I recognize that hand movement again that I love so much. I love
I
it.
love the
Best of
feeling
both.
of the needle popping through that hole and that
That
sound.
and that you start with a blank canvas and
Hmm.
and all it's like magic. I remember when I was teaching, listen to us both. Let's take a drink.
Honestly, that's a good idea.
Okay. Cleanse. When I was teaching, I would talk about how magical stitching was because you start with a blank canvas and it's very perplexing to people that aren't familiar with it. Like, how do you get that to there? And they don't realize how it works. And
Mhm.
it's truly magical, I think.
Yeah, it's so magical and soothing and just such a great thing to get us through winter for sure. Great hobby.
Yes, it is. Well, again, I love to do both fireside, but Sundays is usually fireside stitching. Like
Hmm.
with this pandemic, we have fires like 3 nights a week, like both days of the weekend. Sometimes during the week, if Jake comes over and decides he wants one,
Hmm.
we are going to go through 2 cords of firewood that usually lasts us 2 years in a year.
That's
Between that
great.
and our pellet stove raging,
Mhm.
I love having a warm home and I love that we have the ability to have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very grateful for
I'm
that.
looking at it. I'm really more organized than this looks behind me.
I'm in
I
heaven.
didn't even clean up. What is my
Oh
problem? I
my gosh, if you saw my post yesterday of how I was journaling and the mess that I journal in,
mm, I love your journaling. But let's get to stitching.
Let's get to stitching because we all love way too many things. It's deadly. But okay, this does tie in with journaling and stitching.
Mhm.
Did you get one?
I did not, because I thought it would be redundant with this one.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But that has a calendar and this doesn't. So
okay, so what this is doing for me, because I then bought the sticker book, which is amazing, and there's so many other ones out there. I think I'm going to buy a few more.
I saw the floral leaf one on
and then is it the William Morrison?
Yes, I saw that one as well. What are they doing to us? You know, we all grew up on these. Stickers were a big deal when I was growing up, and you'd scratch them and they'd smell like strawberries, or your friends would give you a sticker. It was just, woo.
Yes.
We're just adult stickering.
What I've decided is, and I might have to change this, every day I stitch, I get a sticker. So I put a sticker on every day that I stitch. And check this out. And why is it so great for January? Look at what it is.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a peacock.
Oh my gosh, it is a peacock. It's a very artistic peacock.
So what do you think? It goes with...
Yes, let's show that, because I think that's an FO for you.
It is.
Grr.
I'm obsessed. Once I get started, Rachel, I'm not proud of this. I'm incredibly competitive. You know that about me. I've talked about it a lot.
Are you trying to beat me?
I don't mean to. I don't mean to. It's like, I am so competitive, and I have so many traits like that that I believe are attributed to the fact that I'm a youngest child. Where are you in the birth order?
I'm an oldest child.
That's why we love each other so
That's
much.
why we get along. I know my husband is a younger child, the youngest as well. A lot of my best friends are a younger child.
Well, see, now it's funny because Dave is I believe oldest, youngest are very good together, because I'd be dead by now. I wouldn't have a penny to my name.
Brian too. You guys could be in the poorhouse together.
I know we're the worst. So anyways, I love this. So this is my goals for this is, like, I want to over here write down all the pieces I want to work on for the month, which I kind of have them set out. And then I figure a sticker a day. So far, they're not very cohesive. Every time we floss tube, there's going to be a hand. I don't know why. I just chose that. I chose it, but I love this. I'm all about writing right now. I also, if anyone either wants to write more but gets stuck or whatever, buy yourself a fountain pen. It's a game changer for me.
They're so overwhelming to figure out which one to get.
Okay,
and they're so expensive.
No. You buy a Twsbi. I don't know what that means. A TWSBI.
TWS?
SBI. A Twsbi.
There's no. Is it TWISBI?
No. I don't even know. I've heard people call them that. I thought they were just initials, and I would go by the initials. Okay. I believe I have the fine point. It's so easy. I want to say I spent, I could be wrong, between $35 and $50.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot for a pencil. Although I do enjoy writing well, and these Blackwing pencils are not cheap either, but boy, the experience is
well, for me, it's kept me journaling. It's kept me doing morning pages. I'm happy for this. I did also buy waterproof ink in case you're going to do any journaling where you want to put a watercolor on it.
How do you put the ink in that thing?
It's so easy. Okay, you go on YouTube and you literally stick it in and you pull up.
You stick it in
You stick it in the ink.
In the inkwell.
Like the tip in the inkwell. I'm probably telling you wrong, but also there's a YouTube video. And then you pull it up. I just refilled it. It doesn't dry out. I use it every day, all day.
You know, it's like a good pair of sunglasses. When you invest in a good pair of sunglasses, you take care of them. Like, I do not lose this pencil either.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I got my old Ticonderoga, yeah, you know, they go all over the house.
Yes.
And
I take very good care of this
mhm.
for me.
What if Winnie bit that thing?
Killer.
That'd be ink all over. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh.
probably it would kill her. No, I'm very careful with it. I'm very careful with it. So yeah. So
I love how you're giving yourself a sticker if you stitch. It's so like potty training sticker.
it really
I
is.
love it.
It is. It's like, okay, because that indicates how many days I've stitched, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Digitally without having to read anything.
yeah. And I love picking a sticker that reflects how you're feeling about your stitching or whatever. You know, it doesn't have
Well,
to match.
A was for Anniversaries of the Heart.
Ah,
That's
yep.
about it. Other than
Oh,
that, they're just pretty. And the hands are going to be when we podcast because there's a lot of hands
I
in that
love
book.
it.
And then the peacock signifies the January block.
Well, let's talk about Anniversaries of the Heart. We have kicked off our Anniversaries of the Heart Sal this year, and we're kind of doing it with a bunch of people who know we're doing it with them and people who don't know we're doing it with them. But for sure, Nicola, Bumble Stitches, that's such a great podcast. If you haven't watched it, check her out. She has started, she's
I
across the pond. She's also a knitter, and she did a wonderful Vlogmas. She just is very good at sewing, at knitting. She does all the things like we do.
Okay, I know you've talked about her, and I think I follow her on Instagram, but I've got to go do more work around this because yes, I'm going to love her.
Bumble Stitches, she has gotten all of her stuff and she has started her Anniversaries of the Heart. And then we're doing it with Laura from Brenda and the Serial Starter as well. She does not know we're doing it with her, but
okay.
We are. She started it as well, but I know there's a lot of other people, and we're using the hashtag BB Anniversaries Sale 2021.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, I'll put it on here and down below because that's the hashtag that Olivia used from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts.
And she finished, right?
And she finished, but she used the hashtag with 2020 at the end. So we're just stealing her hashtag and going along with 2021.
All about history.
Let me show where I'm at before you show yours. Let's see.
Well, and I have such a funny thought around it, but I want to see, I'm dying to see yours.
Well, I don't know if it's going to show up very well on the camera.
Same.
I don't know about you, but I started out very organized, but once I started stitching, I threw my floss and just started putting things in. Yeah, I know. It turned into this. I'm literally tossing the floss on this one. But
I literally tossed the floss on this.
I don't know. We'll see how this shows up.
It shows up. Oh, Rachel.
Okay, so I've gotten far enough for me. I've gotten the border done, and I started with the peacock. So
I love it.
You know, I thought I was going to go with more of different shades of blue and green, but it's turning more into just different shades of greens, but maybe I'll bring in some more blues in the house.
I love it.
It's okay.
I love it. I really, really love it.
Oh, you know who's I really like? Emily C. Have you ever watched her podcast?
Yes. And I heard Brenda talking about her.
Yes. Yes, they did another. I watched her. I just watched her last night, maybe for the second time, but I follow her now on Instagram. She's also doing Anniversaries of the Heart. You got to check out hers on Instagram. I love her colors. She did really well with the colors.
I'm going to have to look.
Yeah. Okay, let's see yours.
So you said, I think we were chatting on New Year's Eve, I think like during the day, and you said something about Anniversaries of the Heart. I had no intention of going down that rabbit hole yet. Like it wasn't in my head, like what I'm going to do. I really struggle with the colors and finding a fabric. And then it was like magic occurred. Like all of a sudden I found a big enough piece of fabric that I loved. That how did I miss it when I was looking before?
Yeah.
And then I just started stitching and I went crazy.
Oh my gosh, look at how cool. See, I thought I was going to have a blue peacock and I ended up with a green. I love your blue.
See, and I love your peacock and I kept going towards, forgot the colorway. every time I looked at it in the bag, I was like, oh, that's what I want to use. And then I'd pull it out and be like too browny gray, and it wasn't. So for some reason, I went with this really soft palette. It's hard to see. I was just picking color. I literally just would be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah. I didn't overthink it.
Yes.
Anybody that follows me knows my small little word of the year is play.
Yeah.
Play. So I literally was playing with colors, and I wasn't really thinking about the month. I was more thinking about how the colors were playing together, right?
Yes.
Do they work? Do they work? And I found they worked. I can't tell you what the colors are, except funny, Brenda did the same thing, and I think you did, Lexington green.
I actually used, no, she did do the same as you. And I actually used, what did I use? I have it written down somewhere. Hang on.
And
I used toasted barley.
Oh, which is somewhere in here.
It is.
I think it's this one.
Okay, yeah, I thought that would be, I don't know, I just did.
And for the white, which you can't, it's not reading well, but it does.
Yes.
So I used pie crust, perfect pie crust.
Yep.
It's got a peachy tinge to it.
Which I love with.
I kind of do too. And peach and blue are complementary, so they work well together.
Thought the same thing when I saw yours on.
Yeah, so I feel like it plays well together. I don't know if it reads January. I don't care.
You know, a lot of them don't read the month. So I'm going to kind of ignore the months as well.
I kind of am too, because nowhere does it say January. No one's going to go, oh, that's a January block, unless they know about it. Yeah. So this is going to be Dave Stokes' block, because he was born on January 2nd. And then Lily and Charlie were both born. So I may put an L and a C somewhere.
That's a great idea. You should.
Yeah, because they are birthday pals, the three of them. And
that's cute.
I love Capricorns. Capricorns are my Virgo, and Capricorn is the best match. So Dave is a Capricorn. My best friend in life is a Capricorn, and my two little grandbabies are Capricorns.
Oh my goodness.
Not that I wouldn't love them if they were anything.
Exactly.
But so then I became obsessed. So I just think it's so funny that I had no intention of doing this, and all of a sudden it just took over me.
Yep.
Like literally took over, and I put in
you started. Oh,
you know what I ideally want to do, and the only reason I put in these is it's the same color, and I had enough, and I didn't want to waste, so I put those in. I'd like to think I'm going to put in all the borders.
Oh,
like just the borders, so that then I just plop the designs in them when it's time.
Yeah,
I say I'd like to think that.
Yeah, but it feels good on your brain. I do that too, like with my 9 patch, I put the borders in. You'll see something else where I did the borders first.
Well,
it feels good. It just feels like then you're filling in as you go.
It feels like you're a step ahead. And so originally I was working with this giant piece of fabric, because I was a couple things. Well, main thing, I was too lazy to cut it. I do not like cutting fabric. I do not like it. If I could buy every piece pre-cut, I would. Yeah. So the fabric is 36 count mellow by Picture This Plus.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
What's mine, Sue? Mine is, I ended up using Weeks parchment.
Oh, yes.
And I'm really happy with it too. My flowers,
they show up.
Yeah, they do actually show up. I decided to change out the one flower is the same. It's coming in and out of focus. The one flower is supposed to be the same as the snow, but it's the more yellower one, which is called parchment.
Yes.
And I just didn't want yellow snow.
I know, and I could have done.
But I don't care about other people's snow. Like, I think it looks great on others.
Yeah. Well, and isn't it funny? My snow, I did it the peach color.
And yours looks great.
Not sure I like it though.
But I think now it doesn't, we're not looking at it as snow on yours, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just like.
I know. I am really, really struggling with the fact Like I was tempted to go to straight DMC if I could have run to the store and get it because
Yeah.
they're more consistent and you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Really struggling, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm a dyer. The inconsistency of indie dyed threads, and
Yeah.
again, I'm real. Yeah, like
I mean, look at everything is so different
well because
if
that
we were
was
to use the other colorways.
and that was designed years ago. So of course
Yeah.
the colors have changed over time. But again, play, play,
Oh,
play.
play. I know. And I said it to you. I kind of feel like it's weeding out the weak stitchers because this is a huge project. And if we can't get through the first square, then you just dump it.
No,
Move
I
on.
know. And it really, I honestly would never buy these pamphlets by looking at them.
Oh, I know.
I'm not at all attracted to them.
No.
Even as I was buying them, I'm like, why am I buying these? I don't even
Same.
like them.
I know.
And it's an investment to buy them, right? But I love them.
I know. And I see Olivia's, and I love the whole idea of making it your own with your own people that you're kind of honoring in each square. I'm
Yep.
not sure yet who I'm honoring and what I'm doing. I didn't know if I was going to stick with just anniversaries and do my family, or if I was going to do birthdays too, or am I going to do couples and individuals? Everything, huh?
Well, honestly, I'm doing nothing until the end
Okay.
because I feel like my brain could shift 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do all that tiny work and
Yeah.
have to and change my mind.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
And I also kind of want to include my grandparents because I was very close to my grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely including ancestors. I was considering doing, because there's 12, so I was thinking of 4 sets, 4 great grandparent sets, 2 grandparents, 2 parents would.
but then what do you do? Like my birthday is the same as my grandmother's birthday or the same month. Like
Yeah. Well, I was
maybe,
thinking anniversaries
oh,
of the
anniversary.
couples. And maybe I would make a little journal and have pictures of all of them in there and a little something about each couple, how they met, or
You're
because we
so,
do have good stories.
see, we don't have good stories. Your family
And
is so into genealogy, which I really like.
well, I kind of am.
Well, you are, but you also have lots of conversations
Yeah, we do.
around it.
We do, and that was 2020. We had my mom, my aunt, and my cousin, and every Sunday at 3 Central Time, 4 East Coast time, we'd get on a Zoom and we would talk about a different segment of the family. And like we had one segment that they were known as the partiers, kind of, and the drinkers. So we all had cocktails during our Zoom, like we did something to, one was, she always liked to wear lipstick. So we all wore our best lipsticks on the Zoom. So it was like we had fun with it. We had little themes every week.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
So plus we have those bonus blocks, which I haven't really looked closely at, but I thought that might be an opportunity to change it around and have a few extra. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. Okay, well we don't need to know.
We don't need to know.
We thankfully have our fabric.
Yes,
and our floss and our confidence now.
Confidence is a huge thing, and it's weird. Like that's what I was lacking. And when you were again, how competitive am I? Well, I'm starting to. Well, then so am I.
I know. Well, I have to say, I'm competitive too. And you're like texting me these blocks that are 3/4 done, and I'm like, crap, I gotta get going. So Percy, get in that crate. We're going upstairs.
I know. Well,
it's fun. I love it. It's not a bad thing.
I know. I also am at a different point in life that on a Sunday afternoon, I can do that if I want to. But yeah, it's funny. It's like, I never feel like I'm like not nice about, it's just in me. I can't help myself.
Well, FOs, let's do FOs if we have any others, because
do I have an FO?
I finished this Santa. My 2020 Santa is done. Can you see them okay?
Absolutely. Now, okay, this is what we need to talk about around these, because did you see Amber is doing them, the yarn hoarder?
I just saw a post that somebody asked what are,
And
yeah,
she's going to knock them out, right? She's
oh
going
my
to be
gosh,
like done.
she's gonna be
So, what
one.
can we do to get me focused on doing it? Like, I have Ebenezer like so started, but it's over there. It's almost like it would be better if I started over. Like mid project for me can be overwhelming.
It's so true. So true. If you like, I have a sweater that I was crazy about all last summer and I haven't done it for 4 months. And I'm like, I don't even remember the stitch pattern. How do
Yeah.
I get back into it? I
Okay,
don't know. Don't
so
force yourself, but look at it as play.
I feel like when this pandemic is over, you need to get on a plane and
Yeah.
come here, and we need to spend like a weekend making them all.
Oh, ooh, yes, because then all the tools are out. Because this is lots of little parts.
That's the thing. And I feel, well, one of my thoughts for this year is I need to start using my house better. Like I have a big enough house that I could have specific rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I am considering taking the luscious chairs out of my knitting room and my journaling room, which is a tiny little room, and putting them into, except then Winnie will jump all over them and they're so beautiful. Like they're a cream leather, like
Yeah, no.
I don't even use them. They're so beautiful, which is not my way of thinking at all.
Yeah.
But anyways, and setting up a table in that room and having,
Table is key.
I know,
Get a table in there. Yeah. Can you sit in your comfy chairs at the table, or are the chairs too
they're
low? And
low.
yeah,
They're okay.
yeah.
That's a
Anyways,
first world
Santa, I
problem.
want to get Mrs. Claus done. I have this. Anytime I have a duo of something I need to do, I only do one. Like that. Sven and Solveig from
I haven't made either.
the knitted guy and Norwegian lady. I have Sven. He's been a bachelor for about 4 years without any Solveig. Now I'm just waving this guy around. His mustache is a little cockeyed,
It's
but you know what?
perfect.
And I'm not putting eyes on him. So that was the one. I don't know. We'll have to talk about the MMM crafts.
We do.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
thank
here's my other Santa. I don't
you.
think I've shared the fully finished. I went ahead since it's no big, it's not like it wasn't a huge project. I decided to frame it myself and not send it to Paige. But
It's it's one like that though. Honestly, that is not something I would go custom framing on.
yeah, no.
But so where'd you get the frame? It's perfect.
Hobby Lobby. I know. One of my pet peeves is when you frame it and the margins are all different.
Same, same.
Okay, so this one, it was like, wow, this is amazing. And I really think it's because the designer designed it so that it would fit in an 8x10 frame. Thank you,
Thank you.
Priscilla and Chelsea.
That's a really generous thing for designers to do
Yes, it
because
is.
it really makes a difference. And I do believe there are pieces that you go to all ends of the earth to frame perfectly. And then you go to your fun pieces that you just want on the wall. And
Mhm,
honestly, I don't feel like you sacrificed anything. It is so beautiful.
mhm. Yeah, I used sticky board
Mhm.
and I wrapped it around, and on the back, I used sticky tape that's for cross
Yep.
stitch.
Citrus tape.
And then I just put a white piece of paper, like a cardboard kind of paper, and I used some washi tape that I thought was cute on the back for now. Now I might unscrew the hangers and do some sort of cloth background because I really like how that looks, or a bigger piece of paper to cover the whole thing. But for now, it just leaned up on my mantle this Christmas and was
I
super
think
fun to have around.
I think it's perfect.
So that's that. The frame, if anybody wants to know the frame, it was from Hobby Lobby. It's an 8x10 and the code is 1917186 if you really like this frame. It was on sale, steep discount. I think I got it for like $10.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's perfect.
Thank you.
Do you
Now what do we talk about? How about another one we're both doing that you're farther ahead along than I am. Exactly. Oh,
Can I
this,
tell you, I've got to invest again in some project bags. But you know what? Because I have so many giant projects, I think I'm going to get more of these.
yeah,
I do. For the big projects, I find them so much more manageable in a giant thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is Winter Rose Manor. You've seen it a lot on other floss tubes.
Yes, all my threads came.
Even conch,
Do you not have it?
you have it. You know what? I just said forget it, and I'm using one of my Victorian mottos. And
Oh,
you know,
oh yeah, and I loved it. I remember that.
yeah, it was working well.
Oh, I was doing so good at
Colors.
organization, and then it all went to hell in a handbasket
Uh-oh.
because the new colors came, and I didn't take the time, and I'm going to.
I love it. Look at our little tags. These are my floss tags in the Treehouse shop right now, which I will share. I have a whole new collection out that I can't wait to show you guys.
And I think I got some of them.
You did, you naughty girl. I would just send you some. Goodness
Never,
gracious.
never.
You know what I've done is I had a little plastic bag. I put all the tags in a little bag and then I just throw it in the bottom of my package or bottom of my bag.
But will you remember which is which?
Yes, because I've written them on the back.
I knew that. Sorry.
We'll do a little tutorial in a second.
Yeah.
But anyways, the colors, where are you at? Here is...
You're not going to like me. I really went full out competitive stew.
Oh, gosh. That's as far as I am. Oh, isn't that funny? I have what you don't have done. So if we just,
Because I was waiting for con.
Oh, I can't wait to get that far.
Well, you know what? I also did what I had threads for. This part I love. Then the bird. Again, though, the color of the bird is bugging me. It's not at all. Like, there's nothing cardinal about that.
Where's the bird? Oh, there. Yeah. Well, it's red in the picture.
I know.
You mean
No, that's
the
top bird.
Oh.
I think,
Oh, yeah, no, that's the female cardinal.
right, but I feel like, I guess. Oh, no, it's not the color. It's that there's two colors there and they look exactly the same. That's
Oh, yeah.
what the problem was.
Yeah.
Wasn't the color.
Oh, that is too bad because in the picture it's really
I love it.
obvious.
However, it does not line up down here. So I'm working my way over to see that I can just fudge it, which I'm sure I can.
Yeah. Oh,
There is a lot. Now, I also got this far because there's a lot of mindless stitching in here. Like this is all just filled in with the white. This is all the same. This is symmetrical. I'm all about symmetry.
I am too. I love it in stitching. I love to not have to look at the pattern and just go.
Yeah. So I love
and you'll find the house as well. The house is really symmetrical with the windows and the drapery, and it's a fun stitch. It's so beautiful. So tell us about your fabric.
I think it's Legacy Picture This Plus, but I'm very mad that I planned wrong. Look at all that wasted fabric down there. And over here, I'm very...
Oh, maybe the other direction you should have taken it.
You know what? I have a feeling it's 40 count and I cut it for 36.
Oh, yeah, that would do it too.
That's what I think it is.
I'm using 36 count weeks tin roof.
I hear a lot about tin roof. I like it.
It's darker than it's showing, as usual. So anyway.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. I switched the conch to Victorian Motto shaded tan, and I switched the roasted marshmallow to Weeks grits again. I really like grits for snow.
I think I did, instead of the marshmallow, I think I did bamboo.
Okay.
Again,
And my door, I didn't have any used brick and I couldn't find it. So I'm using Weeks Carolina Cecil.
very pretty.
Did it work? I did it up and down so it looked like slats.
I like that. You know what? I have stopped doing it unless it's very variegated. I've stopped doing the individual crosses.
Yeah.
I
It
have.
still looks,
It still looks really good. There are times when I do and times when I don't. But Nicole, if Nicole's needlework doesn't, so I feel like if she doesn't, I don't have to.
and neither does Kimberly from Fat Porter Shop. And she's actually showed on her Wednesday Flosstube one of her colleagues, her version done in doing the crosses, and then her own version not doing the crosses. And there's not a huge amount of difference, if you can believe it. It's one is definitely more modeled than the other, but it still looks like it's hand dyed floss, really.
Yeah. It all depends for me on what it is I'm stitching. But if it's like a big open area with like bamboo that doesn't have hardly any, I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Those trees on the bottom are so cute. I love them.
So fun.
They're different colors too, aren't they?
They are. I think they're two different colors. And then in the fence, I believe I might have crossed each stitch because it was up and down and it was a really nice rhythm. It all depends on that for me.
Yeah, because you're doing it in hand.
No, hoop. Very loose.
But loose.
Loose in a hoop.
Sewing it in a hoop.
Sewing,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Good.
I also realized I'm terrible with patterns. Like I'm so rough with them.
The actual pattern itself? Yeah, I'm not collecting patterns to make my kids have to try and figure out what to do with them when I'm gone.
No, I'm not either.
Did you see, you know, we always talk about our stuff's going to end up in Goodwill. Did you see, who was it? They did a stitch for Christmas and, it was Carol Saltbox Stitcher. And it said peace and goodwill. And she said, that's where it's going to end up. It was so funny.
I did see that.
Well, here's one I'm going to be putting away. This is my 9 patch. I'm going to be putting it away for Christmas next year. I'm going to pull it out again. Kind of getting tired of it. It's a great pattern though. But this is as far as I got on the 9 patch. I don't know where I showed before. It's cute. It's going to be cute.
You know when I feel like you might pull that out again is poolside.
Yeah, that's true. July.
And it's mindless, not mindless, but you know what I mean? It's simple, it's small, doesn't require a lot.
It's DMC for the most part and an inexpensive fabric. Sturdier kind of fabric. Yeah, you're right.
That's something I would pull out poolside.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I probably will. But that's Annie B's 9 patch. I've shown that before.
Love
I'm just shoving it in here, aren't I? Yes, and then the other one too that I think I'm going to be putting it away until maybe the fall.
I love
Here's how far I got on, let's see, here's the different shades of green. There's like...
That alone just makes me happy. That hanging on a hook would make me so happy.
It does make me happy. It does. It's from this book, and it's supposed to look like... This is the final that I love. I'm so excited about it. And this is as far as I got with it this winter.
It's beautiful, Rachel.
At least I know it'll fit. It's just so fun. I love all the greens. I love using the floss. And all the greens are DMCs and anchors.
Now, is that one that you could outline the tree and then just sit and fill in? You know what I mean? Do all that border stitches of one tree?
What I'm doing is I'm actually I put in the line up and then I'm filling in the different color, those circles all the way up. Then I'm outlining the dark green and then I'm just filling in. And I did the snowflake first so that the skeleton was there of the snowflake.
Smart. That would make me crazy to work around that.
I absolutely love this fabric. It is a Zweigart mushroom Lugana. Even weave.
I love Lugana.
It's beautiful.
Mhm.
I love it.
Now, I think we talked about this last time. First, a couple things. I need to lay in some fabric. I feel like I've kind of gone through because I have a lot of huge pieces, which we
Mm-hmm.
need to talk about that too. But I would like to get some Lugana and do over one on Lugana, like a 25 count
Mm-hmm.
would be amazing.
Yes. I'm contemplating doing a project coming up over one. Lori Holt, if you've got to watch her latest
I
episode.
have. I have.
You did her
Well,
latest
I'm
one?
3/4 of the way through, and first of all, she's prolific. Like, how does she do that?
How
Like,
does she run a huge business
exactly.
making all those
And
quilts?
get that much stitching done. Like,
I know.
wow.
And just the way she's finishing, and I know Laura was really talking her up on
Mm.
Brenda and the Serial Starter. That probably was what made you finally watch her.
It did. It did.
Yes,
It did.
yes.
It also made me realize something is it, I have way too many gigantic projects. First of all, let's finish showing what we have because then I want to talk about the upcoming year
Yes.
and my way of attacking these projects.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. I think I've shown all my whips.
Okay, so I have one more that again, look at this project bag.
Oh, goodness, yes.
So you know what this project bag is? It's the best. My mohair comes in these bags
Yeah.
and they're Ziploc and I love them.
Does it have a
And I
little
keep them.
handle?
Nope, but it's
Okay.
a Ziploc on the top.
Nice.
So yesterday I finished, the Anniversaries. I finished it and I was gonna go on to February and I just wasn't feeling it. I was feeling like really overwhelmed yesterday because I have so much going on and not in a terrible way, just in a I can't settle down.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I needed to get back to a monochromatic piece, which are my favorite by far. So I pulled this out. I love this piece so much. It has such a beautiful rhythm to it. So I did the rest of that page. I shouldn't say that motif and moved to this one. So this one I'm attacking a page at a time to the best of my abilities.
And what is that one?
This is Forget Me Not by Jacob.
By our friend Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery. He had another amazing episode out.
I didn't finish. Again, my brain is so fragmented. That's a good word for me today. Fragmented that I tend to do 10 minutes and watch and then, I've got to go do something else. Anyways, it's this one. I'm on this page right here. I believe it's 4 pages across. My goal is to get the top done.
It's so
I
stunning.
hate the word goal. I hate that word and I try not to use it, but I would like to get the top done. It's beautiful. I love it.
I went to his website a few days ago. Every single thing he does, I would love to do. There's not enough time in my life to finish a quarter of his stuff.
I agree. I agree. And I really wanted to do his new yearly one really, really, really badly. But why when I have this going? Like I'm trying, again, next time we meet, I could have it half started, that new one. I don't say never. But so when I was watching Lori, I realized everything I'm working on is gigantic and that's going to overwhelm me at some point. I'm going to need to finish.
Yeah.
So again, my goal, my thoughts around this upcoming year is no more big ones. Like try really hard, not like set in gold, but like in stone, but try really hard. I want to get some smalls. I really, really want to work on some smalls because I love the dough bowls. I love all of that. I really want to make a drum. Really. Drum and the giant strawberries. My problem is I am not a finisher. So I always shy away from those things. I'm a framer. I love framed pieces. So my goal is to possibly look at some smalls and do them. I might start with the sewing club book.
Yeah.
Right?
But find a finisher first.
I know I need a finisher.
You need to find
I
someone
need a
that you know you can
finisher.
send to right away.
I
Or you
agree.
can be like Nicole's needlework and just have a box under your bed full of like 10,000 beautiful stitched things that need to be finished.
See, and I'm at the point in my life where I want the finishes. I want my house to have the look, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want. So that's kind of my goal. So my
Yeah.
thoughts are, what big one, I have two thoughts, sorry. The one big one that I want to work on all year is finishing up last year's Modern Folk because I'm
Me
so
too.
close.
You are so close. And I want to finish that too. I
It's over
have told
there.
myself when I looked through Jacob's DeGraff's website, I was so tempted to buy a couple of them. And I was like, you know what? Don't buy until I'm done with one. Always have one Jacob going. Just like you're supposed to have always one red work going. I think Laura
Absolutely
needs another rule of always have one Jacob
pick
thing
up
going.
going. I agree because I love his stuff. His stuff brings me, when
Oh,
I'm feeling frenetic, it brings me
yes.
down.
What is it about his style? I can't wait to frame it. I want to put it over our mantle.
Same. That's where mine's
Oh,
going. That's exactly. So, so I was thinking yesterday, I almost pulled it out and I wanted, this is how I think I'm going to attack it. I'm going to go back to clue one and I'm going to come, because it's 99% done. I'm
mm-hmm.
going to finish it and I'm going to get rid of it. Like, okay, that page is done. So I'm going to go page by page as they came in. I think that's going to give me, it's almost going to be like every page is going to be a finish for me, right?
Well, if that helps your brain feel like you're accomplishing little mini goals, that's a good
Mm-hmm.
way to do it. And
I,
it's
I
with
think
him,
that's some of the
he has such
clue.
big motifs that it's like one motif feels like a finish.
Yes, well, and these motifs are so manageable. Oh my gosh. Like
Mhm.
last night I got that done. I could have done the entire thing, but it was the next page and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna stay.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
love them.
Okay. So we will be finishing a Jacob.
So Jacob is gonna get done.
Mhm.
I feel like I need to set myself like some sort of goal with that. But I think it's going to be page by page. Like, don't continue with the last clue because I got that started. Now go back to the beginning and just fill in. And it's not a lot. That's the thing. Each page does not need a lot of fill in. That's
So
what's
you
making
aren't
me mad.
finishing each clue. You'd move on to the next month and then.
You know me. You know
Oh.
me. So
I
yeah.
forgot you were doing. See, I finish them before I start the next one. So mine's all done up to, I have like 4 more months to do.
That's a lot though. You've got a lot done.
I was really working hard on that until then Christmas hit and I was in the mood to stitch some Christmas. But your
Which
dough bowl idea, I've never been attracted to the pillow finish ever. But when you see them in just a cluster in a beautiful wooden bowl with maybe a few other little things with it,
Mhm.
it's so fun. And I can see your granddaughters just, oh, look at there's for a
Mhm.
holiday, like you could have an Easter dough bowl of just cute little bunnies and
Yep.
ducks and
I agree. I agree. So that
Christmas dough bowl.
those are my thoughts. Like, but what? So the modern folk, I'm going to finish for sure. I
Yeah,
feel
me
like
too.
that's so close to finish that that can't be my big finish. I want to do a big finish, and I want to pick which one it is, and I want to focus on it.
Yeah.
Like, would I do it every weekend? Sorry, I'm solving this problem
I
live.
know, I am too. I'm like, is this interesting to our viewers? But this is helping me. I know, because I've got this whole big.
Well, then I pulled out, and I don't know if you worked on it because I thought you were going to, maybe,
Yes.
and
Oh,
and I was, is it what I think it is?
Savior's praise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at me.
No,
And
I
then
have not done any more on it, but I love mine. Oh, I love it.
yours reminds me of Lori Holt's. Why is mine
She's,
not that vibrant?
well, I'm holding it double. I think you hit it on the head last
No, I
time.
forgot that. I say that though mine is very, well, mine is
Let me see yours. I think I see yours very boldly too.
kind of is more than I remember. But look what I find. I find scissors. I find my gorgeous
Nice
hoop.
hoop. Yeah. I'm the
Any
same way.
tag, things that I forgot. Again, though, this is gigantic. Should this be the one? It is a little more vibrant than I thought.
Yes, absolutely. Yay. Yes, this is kind of my Lent project for sure. I want to do this February, March, April.
Okay.
I'm going to hit this real hard for Lent.
I still have Jesus's face.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. How far along are you on that?
So far. So far.
Yeah, you were
It is.
Vana did that.
I'll pull that out for our next one. But I see this is 40 count. I think that's what was my eyes were having trouble on this fabric, I think. But I think I'm going to go back to it. I think maybe let's not hold me to it, but maybe this will be my Sunday stitch.
Yeah, exactly. This is a perfect one for that. I'm trying to remember what fabric I'm using. I know it's a fun one.
I'm using 40 count. I got the kit from Kit and Stitcher.
I did too, but I know mine's not 40 count.
All right, now
do I not have this in? Oh yeah. Oh, R&R linen, weathered shingles.
Oh, let me see it again.
I have an R&R linen. I didn't know I did. I didn't know what I was buying last when I got this. I think I mentioned it last time. I started this when I was pretty new to stitching. So I'm excited to get back into it. And at the time it was like I had to really focus, and I'm wondering now if I'm gonna fly.
I think you're gonna fly.
I think I'm going to too. I think
though, that one is in pages. I feel like if I can focus on a page at a time. Listen to me. I couldn't even wait to get to February. I outlined February before I finished January.
Exactly. It's okay. This is our play.
Play, right? I love it.
I always hijack other people's words of the year. I can't come up with one, so I'm gonna just do play when I'm with you. And
it took me forever, and then it was like it hit me over the head.
Yeah, my
Oh, let me see.
I mean,
Rachel, wow.
I see. Maybe I have more than 4. Yeah, 5 months. Because I got the whole bottom.
You've got a lot done.
Oh, I love that house. Goodness gracious.
I love your piece. Okay, so.
Yeah, look at all my wasted fabric.
I am annoyed that I did mine on 32 count, but you know what? I'm not going to focus on that.
I love 32 count though. You're holding a double 32?
No, Floss.
Oh, that's right. I think you're going to love how big it is.
It's going to be beautiful on my fireplace. The color's a little, no, actually it's going to pull colors from the stones on my fireplace.
It'll be beautiful. Yeah, I've got a little navy blue as my dark color in our living room, so I'm going to get a couple of topiary type things to flank it.
That's going to be gorgeous. I might copy you. Also candlesticks.
Candlesticks.
Yes,
candlesticks. And then maybe a small of his. Does he have anything small?
Yes, your wasn't that his?
Oh yeah, that I thought was a small, but it turned out to be more of a.
Yeah, but
I just sent that to Paige. I got to make sure she got it.
Oh, you're so lucky. I love when I have things at Paige's.
We're talking about the Jane Austen staying home verse 1 of Jacobs of Modern Folk Embroidery. And that one I did in a really dark brown color. So I'm trying to figure out how to, Paige will have great ideas.
Oh, she'll have great.
Brainstorming in my head how to frame that one. I know I don't obviously know matte, no major border, just a simple dark brown.
It feels like it could go big because it's not a giant piece, so that a big frame, like kind of my Away We Ride, which or my Mary Mac in black one. That was a good frame. I forgot what it looks like, but it's perfect.
See, I have 2 other projects back there. One is a sewing roll that I started, and the other one, Coming to America.
I almost pulled mine out the other day.
I saw someone finished hers, and I was like, oh, that's so good. I didn't.
It's weird though, because when I go to sit to stitch, like this happened with the red work samplers, like, oh, I'm in the mood for Harriet Salt. And I sit down and I'm not. So
Yeah.
it's like, then I get up and I pull something, like I really have to be in the mood, right?
I'm the same way. I have to,
Mhm.
and usually what gets me in the mood is seeing somebody else doing it.
Same.
And it's
That
beautiful. And
helps a lot. I know.
speaking of Lori Holt, because we were speaking about her 20 minutes ago, like the worst transition, but
I love it.
I have
It's
decided,
perfect in my world.
when I wanted to get into stitching, it was so complicated for me to find everything in one place. And I knew I didn't want to start with the big box store
Mm.
stuff. I know me, and it's about the process, and I wanted the decent quality, on a smaller scale, but it was like, where do I go here for the floss? Do I go here for the fabric? What type of fabric do I use? Someone please just tell me what to do. So
Mhm.
I've decided in my shop, I'm going to create kind of a getting back to stitching or learn to stitch kit that includes everything you need, including.
Yay.
So I was like, well, what would be a good starter pattern that would, that a lot of people would enjoy? And I keep being attracted to Lori Holt's stitch cards.
I'm not familiar.
She comes out with a set of stitch cards every quarter. There's been stitch cards A, B, C, D, E, and F, I believe.
I
Maybe
know
G is
nothing
out.
about this.
And they come like this. This is set D. This is a terrible, I can take it out. I know a lot of people have probably seen these already, but this is the spring one from, I think, last year. That they're just really simple stitches. It's DMC. I'm just going to flash real fast. The chart is very easy to understand. It's a low investment, but I think high reward project. And I've done it on a 25 count Lugana.
Oh,
And you can do whatever you want. I'm going to do mine across or down, 2 and 2. I'm not quite sure which
across.
one.
I love across.
I do too. I think I'm going to do across.
I love
But
across.
I think these stitch cards are so fun. And I know that she's going to be coming out with a box that matches these stitch cards too. So if you want to be a collector of the stitch cards, you can. But I've got stitch card D right now. And what I've done is I've created a kit where you get a piece of fabric that's this size, and I've serged it all the way around already.
Love a good serge.
It comes in a bag. I'm going to include a bag in it, as well as all of the DMC that you need. So I've gotten all the DMC for the entire set, which is like maybe 12 or 13 skeins. I'm going to throw in some of my floss tags so you can get organized. I'm going to have your little scissors.
I love those. I can't wait
favorite set of little scissors because they have a little tip, and because of the metal, it sticks on your needle minder, which is something I want to make for the next kit. But so you're going to get all of the materials you need, plus I love these tulip size 24 needles, so I'm going to throw in those. And I've sourced some hoops that I like that are thinner for in hand. Now I love my stand that you sit on, and that's thicker, but I liked when I'm in hand, I like the thinner. I don't know why. It just
I agree, because I bought these thinking I would want a thicker.
Yeah, me too.
And these hurt my hands.
Yeah.
It hurts my hands.
Yep, same. I've got
my hand and my wrists, the way I hold it.
Me too. And I end up like, I don't know, I end up having to lean it on a table, or I'll have to find a clip or something for it. But so this is a kit that is going to be coming out shortly in my shop. I'm really, really excited to offer this. I've had friends of mine that aren't stitchers that see what I'm doing, and they're like, can you set me up with something just to start out,
Well, I can tell you, even as a seasoned stitcher who's familiar with all the fabric and I'm familiar with it all. It's still overwhelming to have to gather it all.
Yes.
I love kits. I love, as long as they're not, I don't love big box kits. I don't love Ada. Just, it's not my thing at all.
Mine need. I mean, I like it in certain instances, but I
Yeah,
thought for this, I would start out with.
mm-hmm.
Lori has a really nice 25 count Lugana. I love stitching on this.
And the thing is, if you start with an even weave, you don't know, you don't have it in your head like, oh, that's different. Is it
Right.
harder? You don't know any different. I always,
Mhm.
when I had my shop, I would encourage people that if they liked it, if they were like, oh, I like that, but is that harder? It's like, nope, you've never done it on anything.
Right.
So it's not harder. And
Right.
so I agree with you on that. Now, having said that, people love Ada, and I've seen things on Ada that are beautiful. I just don't like working with it in my hands. It's not pliable enough for me. It doesn't allow. I like to do the fancy stitches once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I've got a couple projects on Ada that I really love using it.
mhm,
But because I started on linen of all things,
mhm.
I kept going 2 holes all the time on the. I was messing up on the Ada. So
That's the
your
thing, right? You
your
don't know
point.
any different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I love a good kit.
I'm so excited about being able to offer this.
Mhm. Oh, your shop is so fun. So I went in yesterday because I saw your post and it's like, I've got to get some of these because I forget. And I just like think, oh my gosh, I got the squirrels. What else? I got the tulips. Oh, is this my order?
No, your order's already in the mail. But
Oh,
no, yes, this is the sampler collection. So I kind of looked at the samplers that I'm doing and what would I like to have my floss hanging from that would coordinate with it. And of course, there are so many things that I have with squirrels. Squirrels are in everything. So I did a squirrel on the brown. And I mean, you always have a good urn with some flowers. So I did some urns. This is kind of a dark greenish black color. Everybody loves the red house out there. So I had to make my houses red as well as I have
love
them in the pink color that kind of goes with the winter rose garden.
cottage. I don't know.
Oh gosh. You know the one, everyone.
The one.
And then a happy bluebird. I just like
Uh,
the bird. And then the flower, which seems to be a favorite of everyone. So
well, because I told you I'm using it for the, what's it called? Lilies.
remember the lily,
Remember the
or
lilies.
no, is it? Yeah, remember the lilies.
I think so. That's what I'm using mine for.
Wait, what? Fun,
I think
yeah.
I
The
bought two because there's a
peachy
million
pink.
colors.
Peachy pink is what I've got going on for this one. So that's my sampler collection. That's in there. And right now, all week, I just felt like let's party. It's the new year. So I put them all 20% off. Everything is 20% off all week. You just have to put the code tag 20, I think. But these were so fun to design on my computer and then print out on my cutter and
I
just
love
having
them.
fun.
I just think they're brilliant. I just, the lack of organizational skills on my end is just through the roof right now.
It's fun to, and like I said, and you know what? We did have a few people that said, will you demonstrate how you put floss on your tags? I wonder if we should do that here or if I should just make a little video.
I would make a little video
And
because
I
then
could be a
it'll be
little,
just you.
yeah,
And you can insert it, right?
I could insert it here and then I'll insert it. I'll make it its own as well, maybe on our channel.
Yeah,
So if
I
people are
love it.
searching for, okay, I'll do that
Well, and
after this.
Brenda showed how to do the DMC, which,
I s-
my gosh, like it's so simple. And I literally had to watch it to learn it.
Well, I forgot that if you pull on the number end, it just comes out nicely. So
Mhm.
why am I ripping it open? I'm putting the DMC around my wrist and I'm pulling and it's dangling and it's cutting off the circulation as I'm pulling. Yeah,
Yeah, it was perfect. But yeah, I think because then they'll be able to see it more clearly, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. In a bigger screen right now, we're two on the screen.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do that.
You're so
And
good.
maybe it's inserted here, maybe not. What else?
I don't know. I feel like I want to get a lot done this year. And I want to be a little more focused with my although I say that when I know there's a floss toss coming up, I do get focused.
Yeah.
It's the in-betweens that I don't.
Mhm.
So yeah. I
Yeah, there's some,
really want to finish stuff.
I do too. I want to finish. I truly want to finish. It'll make me feel good. And when I start to be tempted to get another pattern, I just remind myself, no, you got something good on not on the
Well,
needles.
I just
Going.
I've got the red work, I've got the Remember the Lilies or whatever it's called. I've got the Queen sampler, Coming to America. It's like
Oh my
I fell
gosh.
down every rabbit hole there was this year. And
And
now Mark
anniversaries.
and Anniversaries and the Jacobs, and there's so many.
Agnes Day.
Yes, yes, that one too. Oh my God.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should do a
And
whip parade.
I feel like that would be a fun thing to do because
I
we have a
know.
lot. We have a lot. But market generally is in February. I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's May.
Oh,
They
they.
moved it to May. I'm kind of happy, to be honest. I do not
I-
need another.
I'm kind of happy too. Oh yeah, it just made me think of another one of those gorgeous blackbirds I have. You know, the one with the birds or the flowers.
Oh, I love that one. And that's in my queue. What's it
That's
called? Oh,
start
Joyous Day or
Joyous Day. That started.
oh,
All
yeah, I
right.
gotta get that done.
Maybe next time we'll go through our whips.
It would be fun. I mean, I think everybody's whip paraded out
Yeah.
this week. I think there's been a lot of good ones.
Yeah, let's do it next time, maybe. Yeah,
Okay, good.
I know.
I think we got
Now
through.
I have to go back to my dye pots, and all I want to do is stitch.
Do you have to go back to your dye pots?
It's a very light day. I'm really taking this week which is funny because I really didn't work a lot last week either. But last week everyone was still in like vacation mode. No one was working around here, so
Mm.
I like to take time off when other people are working. Does that make any sense?
Yes, totally.
So it gives me a little more space. So I think today I've got some special orders to dye up and I'll get those done. And I don't know, I'm also feeling the housebound piece of this all right now. And
We're renovating the boys' Jack and Jill bathroom that they have right now. So I went out all suited up in my mask and whatnot to pick out some tiles and countertops, and we kind of had to because we had a little leak issue, and it just was like now's the time to get
mm,
it done. So that's been going on in our house.
yeah.
So that's been a nice little diversion, but we got a lot of snow right now, and the boys are back in school, by the way. Yesterday they actually went back in person, all masked up and stuff, using all their same social distancing.
Yeah.
But that's been nice for them to. They were excited to go to school yesterday, and
Boy, if
now
that
they're
isn't a let,
driving themselves to. Oh my gosh! Today I just stood by the door and waved, saluted them off. It was like,
I remember.
oh, just to see them go away. But of course, I watch them on the phone. Okay, they're almost there because it's a little slippery out there, but they have to learn how to drive in this someday. They
Yeah.
did fine. They're there, day 2 now. But oh, that feels so nice to be in
Oh,
this stage.
I remember that so well.
Wow.
You've earned it.
And they're driving off in the minivan that they were babies in, which is hilarious. I think I've said it before to you. I think Toyota needs to do a commercial where it shows how this minivan has lasted for 15 years and now the kids
Oh,
are, I feel safe. I feel that it's still a reliable enough car they can drive it to themselves to high school in.
I've been saying for a while now I want a minivan again.
I hate to admit it, but I love my minivan. I
Mm.
mean, we got a nicer car a couple years ago that has all the bells and whistles, but it's just not as spacious. I
Yeah.
love having that back that I can flip the seats forward, and if I find something on the side of the road, I can throw it in there or whatever. Not that I do that often,
Okay,
but
me too. I really miss it, especially now with Winnie going up to Vermont. It's going to
oh
be
yeah.
really tough. And then we get to Vermont and we have to go places, not that we get to Vermont lately, but when we were able to, um, we have to take 2 cars, sometimes more,
Mm-hmm.
because there's just not enough room. Oh,
Oh,
I would
two
kill
cars. That's a bummer.
Not that we, again, if we go down into Burlington, this was in the past, before COVID, we would have to take a couple cars, and it's a pain finding parking and all of that. And I would buy a minivan in a minute again.
They're really, yeah. I know
They're practical.
People make fun of minivan, but they are so practical, and they have all the bells and whistles in them now, and they're comfortable.
So comfortable.
I know.
They're so comfortable.
I know. I know. Oh, we diverse. I don't want to leave you, Sue.
I know.
I'm like, what can I talk now about with her for another 20 minutes? I don't know. I might end up cutting this part out.
I say yes, but
I know. They don't need to know about how I love my minivan.
I know. Justin refuses to get one, and I'm
there's so many people. Oh, it's so convenient. When you're taking kids to school in that crazy parking lot where kids are coming out, doors are opening in the park, and those doors just slide back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried.
Okay, now I'm too old. My minivan didn't have those bells and whistles. It was just on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think maybe we had a lot. We went through them. I think.
But did your doors slide backwards, or did they open out?
No, they didn't open out. They slid backwards, but not automatically.
Yeah. Well, ours broke. The automatic doesn't work anymore, so we turned that off. So there's manual now, and mine has a tape player still. So it was the last year they made the tape player, which is so funny because I got that old knitting machine, and it came with the instructions, which included cassette tapes to listen to. So I had to go sit out in the minivan to listen to it.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It was that or buy a really cheap tape cassette player on Amazon. I was like, I don't want to store that thing. I gave away all my tape players.
I agree.
Oh
my goodness.
Well, happy dying.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for watching us, everyone.
Let's
rally back. We'll have no ending. I'll have to.
I know. We'll cut all that out and we'll have an ending.
I have loved watching all the floss tubes in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Thank you to everyone who did Vlogmas. My favorite Vlogmases this year, I think, were Nicola's Bumble Stitcher did a beautiful one.
Gotta write that down. I'm watching.
Mommy Loves You GB. I always look forward to hers every day. And I know I love Joanna's Opera Joe. She always does a beautiful one.
Thanks.
So thank you for all that work you guys put in. It was kind of it's like an advent calendar for YouTube, really.
It is so much work. I know Chelsea did hers on her Patreon, and I will tell you, by the end, she was exhausted, and I was like, oh my goodness. I adored. Well, Sandy is always my.
Yep.
Sandy by the Lakeside, and then Chelsea Yarns.
Chelsea Yarns. Her and her husband. I love Red Bank Mike. You turned me on to that. I didn't know they were doing a Vlogmas, so
Christina is one of those people. Her and Sandy both motivate me beyond belief. They make me want to fold laundry. They make me want to cook dinner. Maybe that's why I don't want to cook anymore.
They made me make a hot cocoa station for my family, and my family thought I was amazing.
I know. I just really appreciated getting peeks into their lives. It's a lot to allow people into your lives like that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You become very vulnerable, and I love them so much, and I appreciated them so much.
Yeah, they felt really authentic.
But now I'm going to go back and watch Bumble Stitchers.
Yeah, take a look at her. She did an episode on Anniversaries of the Heart. It's just 12 minutes, so start with that one. And see how she's doing on it. So, yes.
Good.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a great couple weeks, and we will see you on our next episode.
We'll be back. We'll see how many stickers I earned.
I love that.
And we'll go from there.
All right. Happy stitching. Bye.
Bye, guys.